But what will you be using these shoes for? Ooh. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Shoe Eating Monster. I'm Juliana, your thrifty running friend and your local shoe eating monster, and I am here today because we are on part 4 of our series of how to buy used shoes online. But before we get into the episode, don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to leave a comment below if you have some strategies on how to buy used shoes online, or if you just have a favorite shoe that you've ever bought online. Ooh, 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 ooh. This week, we are going to be talking about evaluating if you got a good deal and if the shoe is worth it to buy it online. Because we are here just looking to get the best deal on things and also looking to be smart about our money. It's great to buy a bunch of like little smart things. I like to think of like Temu and like the little things on like eBay and Amazon that are little tchotchkes that, yeah, they're $1, but they're really worth $1. We're trying to make sure that if you're paying $1 for something here, it's worth like at least 10, 20, 30, 40, $50. You're getting your money's worth. There's a reason we're trying to be smart about thrifting our shoes. It's so we can save some monies and we can make running more accessible to everyone, and also to make sure that you get them what you paid for. You know, you want to pay money, and that's the thing too. People want to pay money and get what they paid for. So we're going to talk about strategies as to how to make sure that you are getting your money's worth out of a shoe and that the money that you're paying for it is worth it. Let's go. Okay, so your first step of this process is going to be checking the original retail price of the shoe. If we're going to see if we're getting a good deal on the shoe, we should see what it was actually retailing first originally, because if someone lists something on eBay for $125 and the shoe is worth $130, just pay the extra $5 and get the brand new shoe. I mean, come on, like, duh. First process we're going to go through: check and make sure you know what the original retail price of the shoe is. And you can do this very simply just by Googling the shoe and going to the website that belongs to the retailer. So if you want the Nike Pegasus, go and Google Nike Pegasus, whatever model number you'd like to get on there, or whatever is listed. So say you go over to eBay and there is a Nike Pegasus 29 listed. You go ahead and copy and paste that bad boy into Google search and go to the Nike website and see what the original retail price is for that shoe. The only caveat with this, if it is an older shoe and you can't find the original listing for the shoe, you should be able to actually find some shoe review websites, which we're going to talk about a little bit more later, like Believe in the Run, like Doctors of Running, that are going to list the original retail price of the shoe in their review. Pretty much any good shoe reviewing website is going to list the original retail price of the shoe, or the MSRP, mass sales price, maybe? Master sales price, possibly, maybe. But the original retail price of the shoe should be either accessible on the retailer website or on a shoe review where they will list it very explicitly and tell you that this is the original retail price of the shoe. So find out what the original retail price of the shoe is, and this is going to be good knowledge for the next part of our process. Okay, so the next part of our process is going to be, let's think about how we are going to be using these shoes. And here are the examples I'm going to use. So let's just imagine that we are buying these shoes to run in. So we want to make sure that these shoes are top notch. We're not going to get injured. Like, the foam is still in good condition. The bottom of the shoe is still in good condition. And we're going to have good traction on the ground when we're running. And the shoe itself is still in a very good condition. So we want to make sure that if we are using the shoe for like running, that the foam and all the other components of the shoe that we are going to use and like impact while we are running are in a really great condition. So that is the use case for the shoe in this scenario, is running specifically. But let's just say we are changing it up, and the use case for the shoe that we're buying a shoe to go like clean out, like muck out horse stalls in, you know, or it's to paint a house in. something where we're going to use the shoe once. It really doesn't matter what the quality of the shoe is. We more or less just need like a foot covering. And if the shoe gets ruined, that's fine. The quality of the foam is really not relevant to us. And it just matters if the shoe stands up or not. Depending on what the use case of the shoe is, we're going to want to think about, is this shoe worth it to us or not? If I'm paying for a shoe that I'm going to use for long periods of time, hopefully like with your running shoes, and really put a lot of wear and tear into it, I am, one, going to want a shoe that's in better condition, and two, willing to pay a little bit more. As opposed to if I'm buying a shoe to like muck out stalls or do paint jobs in, I really don't care about the quality of the shoe that much, and I'm willing to pay less for a shoe for a lower quality shoe. So kind of like a little graph almost of like how much money you want to pay versus what you're actually going to use the shoe for, and how much like you're going to depend on the actual features and quality of the shoe. So that's something to definitely think about when we are deciding, is this shoe worth it? Is this a good buy for us? The next thing we're going to think about, and this is really important, especially to a shoe eating monster, is we're going to want to research the durability of the shoe and also just read some reviews of this shoe. Generally speaking, you should kind of know what you're looking for in a shoe before you start, and then you can go back to my other videos and check that out. If you have not watched the previous 3 videos, go ahead and watch those. But you should kind of know what you're looking for in a shoe. And the best way to figure out if a shoe is going to be a good fit for you, besides like going to a retail store and trying it on, like if you have that option available to you and you can find this shoe in a store and you want to try on like the brand new pair and see if this is actually something you're interested in, is to read shoe review websites. There are many shoe review websites out there that are absolutely fantastic that will give you like really detailed breakdowns of different portions of the shoe. My favorites, and we're going to shout them out right here. Believe in the Run, obviously, big favorite there. We have Run Repeat, where they actually cut shoes in half and they show you the whole process, which is super interesting. And I also really like Supwell, which is a YouTube channel. Joanna is the creator over at Supwell. And then we're also going to throw in Doctors of Running as like my top kind of 4. Oh, and Kafuzi. Kafuzi. So these are all people who, and I'll put them down below in the description as well too, who regularly post like writing style, blog style posts as to the full breakdown of every component of the shoe. I will say, if you're someone who really likes a lot of data, the Run Repeat website is going to be for you. They are very analytical about everything in the shoe, taking it apart, breaking it down, all these different tests and everything that they do to the shoe. So if you're a data-driven person, that's the place to go, I would say. If you like a really well put together video, honestly, Believe in the Run and Kofuzi are going to be your top 2 right there. But these shoe review websites and shoe review collaboratives and people will give you detailed breakdowns as to what the shoe is doing well, not well, is it worth the money, how durable is the shoe, did the shoe stand up to the testing that they did to the shoe? Because if you are looking for a shoe and you find a good, oh, hi Myrtle, hi, are we taking an interlude? If you're looking into a shoe and you find a shoe that on paper, as far as the retailer's website is concerned, and as far as the reseller's website and link and listing is concerned, looks fabulous to you, I would say, unless you're very familiar with that shoe and you've run in that shoe previously, go check out one of these shoe review websites. Literally just put it into Google and put the word review after it. So like, again, like Nike Pegasus 29 review. And then one of these websites should come up. If not, there are so many other websites that will come up. Read at least like 2 or 3 of these shoe reviews, because everyone is biased. Everyone has their own opinions. Everyone wants what they want out of certain things. So read a bunch of them, because you never know. You might come across a shoe like, say, the Asics Nova Blast 5, which we've reviewed here so far, which hasn't been too bad for me, but I haven't gotten up over 100 miles yet, where a lot of the shoe reviewers have said that at 100-ish miles, the foam is compressing and not decompressing. And so the shoe is kind of like what we would call bottoming out. And it's not giving you that kickback because the little trampoline system that's built into it has stopped working. It's not bouncing back anymore. And you wouldn't know that on the retail website. The Asics people aren't going to tell you that. I mean, come on. They're trying to sell shoes, you know? But if these shoe reviewers will tell you these things. So go and read the shoe reviews and definitely check out the durability portions of these shoes, because that's really going to tell you how long the shoe is going to last and is that worth your money or not. The next thing we're going to mention is checking the return policy on shoes. So what if I don't like this shoe? What if this shoe doesn't fit? What if this shoe is not what I thought it was going to be? That's a good question. Can I return this shoe? And I'm going to tell you it depends, because there's a reason that a lot of people buy shoes on Amazon. It's because if they don't fit, or it's the wrong size, or if it's just not what they wanted, they can largely just return it without any questions asked, and it's an easy and simple process. But you'll find across different reseller websites, eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, and the like, each one is a little bit different, and it even varies when it comes to the sellers as well, too. So different sellers can have different return policies. So definitely check out the return policies on that specific listing that you are looking at, not just the website, but the listing that you are looking at. And if you can't find answers to the questions that you're looking for, go ahead and send a message over to the seller and ask them about what the return policy is. Can I return this? Is it free returns? Am I paying for the shipping? Is this a final sale? You know, like a lot of the times with Mercari and Poshmark, it's a final sale. And if you don't like it, you just have to resell it yourself. But it definitely is a big deterrent for some people. So take that into account. And if you don't know the answer and can't figure it out, just go ahead and ask. That's why there's that chat feature on all these websites, and why there's like the chat bots and also like the email help questions and things like that too. So go ahead and ask and figure out what the return policy is. Sometimes it's worth it to just buy a shoe and know that, hey, this is a final sale. I paid $10 for this shoe, and if I like it, I like it, and if I don't, I don't. And I donate it to the Goodwill or the local charity shop if I don't like the shoe because I paid $10 for it, and you know what? It's fine. Either ask, make sure the return policy is up to your standards, or just make inner peace with the fact that you might be donating this shoe, you know? There are worse things that have happened and will continue to happen in the world. Okay, so our last point we're going to make about getting a good deal is the fact that you can haggle when you are on a lot of these reseller websites. And by haggle, I mean you can ask them for a different price. You can offer them a different price. I believe on Mercari and Poshmark and eBay, it says like send an offer, and you can offer them a lower price than what is listed, which I would highly, 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 highly recommend that you do anytime, unless the deal is just like so good that you don't want to wait, because the only challenge with haggling is you have to wait for the person to accept it. So if someone else is already in their chat, that could happen. I mean, someone could also buy the shoe too, or someone could buy the shoes before the person is able to like outright purchase them, before someone is able to go into their account and be like, yeah, I like that deal that Juliana just sent me. That's great. You know, haggle with people, offer them a lower price than what is listed on the listing, and be polite about it, be kind about it, be nice about it, be like, hey, I saw this, or use whatever the format is that's built into the app or the website. But if there's any kind of chat feature, or if you like really want this shoe at a discounted price, send them a really nice, kind message being like, hey, I love what you're doing here. Your shoe selection that you have on your selling page is just like top notch. These shoes look fantastic. You took great pictures. Just like flattered the hell out of them, you know? Let them know that you are here. You're ready to give them compliments, and you would like these shoes at a discounted price. Thank you so very much. Thank you much. That is going to be our last tip today for how to search smarter and make sure you're getting a good bargain and a good deal when you are looking for used running shoes online. Just think of it as a fun little adventure, and each shoe that you're buying, if you're buying a used pair, it's a little bit of a gamble sometimes. It's a little bit of a rush, a mystery. It's fun, and it works out in the end, and I feel like the more you practice the skills of buying used and thrifted items online, the more that skill becomes refined, and just the better you get at it, just like literally anything else that you do. So get out there and do some searches, even if you don't end up purchasing any shoes, just to make sure that you know what you're looking for, you know? And let me know if you guys find any deals when you're out there thrifting shoes online. And next week should be our final episode of how to thrift shoes online, running shoes online. And thank you all so much for watching so far. And if you've listened or watched all of these episodes so far, thank you so much. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment down below if you have had success with finding used running shoes online. Maybe this video series has helped you, or this audio series has helped you out a little bit and kind of pushed you in the right direction. You found that like dream pair of shoes at a really great price. I would love to hear some stories about that. Go ahead and leave us a 5-star review if you're over on Spotify. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And then I will see you guys all on the next episode of Shoe Eating Monster. Thank you for listening to this episode of Runna. This podcast is edited, hosted, and produced by me, Juliana Coughlin. Brought to you in part by the Falmouth Running Club and the Falmouth Community TV station. If you'd like to connect with us, you can find us on Instagram and on TikTok at Runnapod. And you can send us an email at runnapod@gmail.com. And our original theme music was brought to you by the one and the only wonderful Jeffrey Hutton. And keep up the great work. I'm proud of you.